Welcome back to episode 35 of the podcast. It is international break. We are talking all things Tillies, Lionesses, Japan game. Are you ready to go?
Let's do it. Where should we start? Quick shout out to FootballHer who are supporting the podcast. This amazing merch right here. Let them know what they can get, Kirsty.
So we are now affiliate ambassadors, which means if you follow the link in our bio, it will take you straight to their website, or you can just search FootballHer on Google, and you can get 10% off using the code CharlieKirsty10. Very much appreciate it. Thanks, Connor.
Get on it. We were there, City Ground, Nottingham Forest.
Wasn't too happy with the ground, but
Why?
shout out to Lionesses who helped us get parking on site. Very much appreciate that.
Oh yeah, the whole commotion.
If you haven't seen it, head over to our TikTok because I don't want to get into it because it makes me angry. But the lovely lady at Lionesses, Deborah, got in touch with them and we got parking, so it wasn't too bad in the end. And what made my day even better, other than the fact Han was there?
I was just going to say we had a special guest.
We did. Han was with us. Charlie, how annoying was it being two versions of me?
The ADHD was through the roof.
He had the best time though, don't let him tell you he didn't. We'll get on to why I love the game even more afterwards because I feel like I can't talk about it straight away because I'll get too excited. Do you want to talk about one half of the duo though, in LJ?
So, right, first half, I thought Lauren James was, apart from Lucy Bronze, probably the best player on the pitch. Everything seemed to be going through Lauren James. She was cutting in, she was crossing it. It just seemed like the plan for that was just to whip the ball in, throw as many players into the box as possible. It's really hard to talk about this game and not talk about Lucy Bronze, so I will pass over to Lucy Bronze correspondent, Kirsty.
Bronzy actually got a goal and an assist. I was buzzing. As you can imagine, guys, I probably, on a scale of 1 to 10 of excitement, hit over 1,000 during that game. But for anybody that says she's going to retire soon, she's coming to the end of her career, absolutely not. She just proved on Saturday why she is a long-standing Lioness, and she goes from strength to strength. And it was also a 145th goal.
She's catching up.
145th goal? No,
Appearance, yeah.
Not goals. She's not scored that many. I wish she had. But appearances. So she's only got Jill's got Farrah Williams to catch up with now, and I think she will do that.
It's still like 30-something to catch up with Farrah, isn't it? I think Farrah's on
so.
171. But yeah, it was, some people said it was a frustrating game, but it was quite comfortable for England, I thought. There was no real problems.
I expected more goals, though. I definitely expected more goals, but I've got a Georgia Stanway stat for you, right? Because in the last 5 games, she has had 10 goal contributions. She's had 8 goals and 2 assists. And
For the Lionesses?
And
Wow.
Han actually said on Saturday, every game she's been to of the Lionesses so far, Georgia Stanway scored.
I would like to know how many of them are pens, because she does get quite a lot of pens as well.
Yeah, she really does.
But she was also very good in that game. Let's break down the first half. So it seemed to be that England would just go out wide and cross the ball in. Not a lot really went down the middle. England seemed to be really scared of Iceland's counter-attacking. Obviously, John's daughter, who plays for, did you say Angel City? Did you say she played for? It's bad. I just know it was Rob Holding's missus, which is really bad, isn't it?
I'm sure she plays for Angel City.
She's also a baller. They were really worried about her because she is rapid and she's very strong.
She's very tall.
She's got a lot of tricks that she can use. But yeah, they tried to just ping it to her and just get her to run onto it and get something to happen, which just didn't really get going. Leah and Esme seemed to just block her out really well. But in terms of England attacking, it seemed to just be go out wide, cross the ball, and set pieces seemed to be the one. Lucy Bronze was just pretty much every outlet for a cross or a set piece. Even coming out at the edge of the box, I can't remember who headed it out, but she tries to volley it first time, and I'm telling you now, that would have been a worldie.
I'd have probably lost my mind than I already did. I just felt like, and not even just in the first half, but in both halves, there was just so much more goal-wise that we expected to happen, and I think it was just like everyone was a bit like, oh, there weren't as many as we expected.
Well, there was a
but
few
the ones
chances
that we did have were good. So
there was a few chances, like you had obviously Lauren James cutting and shooting. A few chances where she's put it in the box for a number of different players. Same for Hemp, she cuts in and has a lot of shots. She cuts in and she crosses a lot of the time. It was just so many different chances.
on the subject of Lauren Hemp as well, can I just say, we see her week in, week out, an absolute baller for Man City. Slightly biased as a Man City fan here, but we see her week in, week out, and she is an absolute baller. And the fact that I got to see her in an England shirt at that level as well was just insane. And I am so proud to have Lauren Hemp play for my club. I can't lie. Her heat map must have been wild. Like, she did not stop running around that pitch. She was everywhere.
She was
and
absolutely everywhere.
people underestimate how fast she actually is.
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you say Alyssa Thompson's quick, but I think Lauren Hemp's just as quick.
No, I feel like everyone knows that Hemp is rapid.
I was just I was just in my element watching the girls.
I
It was
just
great.
love how like she uses her really like low center of gravity. And no one can really like move her off the ball. She spins, she turns, like she can just change direction
Yeah.
so quick. She's rapid and she's really good. She deserved a goal or an assist in that game, to be honest.
Good is not the word to describe Lauren Hemp.
All right, fair enough.
Insane is the word to describe Lauren Hemp.
Fair enough.
Ballon d'Or nomination next season. Thank you.
But in terms of the first goal, Lucy Bron's header from a corner, I believe. Yeah, pretty standard really for England at the minute, isn't it? Is Lucy Bron's winning headers. But yeah, that goes in, and that's kind of it for the first half. There doesn't seem to be too much. It's kind of the same thing where Iceland are kind of pegged back into the box, and England are just pinging it in as much as possible. And second half seemed to open up a little bit more. I think
Yeah, a little bit.
you then start to see the legs go a little bit for that midfield of Stanway, Park, and Kira Walsh.
Can I just say, I think I did an immaculate job at being on the pitch for majority of the game and in the stands. It's great. It's like Wizard of Waverly Place kind of stuff. I was in 2 places at once.
What do you mean by that?
Well, obviously everybody says I look like Jess Park.
There
so
we go.
I'm not helping myself with this hairstyle right now, but I genuinely
I was just thinking that.
there were quite a few people that got made on it yet again. So I was very impressed with myself. I've been 2 places at once.
There we go. Just get your Man U shirt next.
I can't say that on the podcast. Don't bother buying me one.
In terms of Stanway, obviously we've mentioned that she does get the second goal. Lucy Bronze with an absolute unbelievable cross into the box and a really good finish first time from Stanway to basically pass volley it into the bottom corner. And yeah, very comfortable game for England. No problems really.
I do want to give Hannah Hampton a shout out though, because she had a really good save in that second half towards the end.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Obviously Iceland were like, let's just give it a go. But she saved it really well. If you haven't seen it, guys, go find it somewhere on TikTok or.
They did have a couple of good chances
they
actually
did.
towards the end, didn't they? Where you could see the legs go a little bit for England. Obviously, I feel like we left the subs a little bit too late in terms of Lucia Kendall getting 4 or 5 touches of the ball and getting like 2 minutes play. But we left it quite late in terms of subs. You could feel it by kind of England just not really being able to chase and track their runners. Luckily, they got away with it. Hannah Hampton was on point, and like Esme Morgan and Leah Williamson were also on point in terms of just stopping that attack from happening. What does that leave England in terms of the group?
So obviously we beat Ukraine 6-1 away last Tuesday.
We did.
It puts us at the top of our group on goal difference because Spain didn't beat them as comfortably. Spain only beat them 3-1, but then they also beat Iceland 3-0. So it puts us top of our group at the minute on goal difference, but there's only 2 goals in it. So it does concern me because I really don't want to end up in a playoff situation. I mean, we obviously play them next in April.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Thanks for the fixture checking again, Wembley, because one of us is on half term and the other one's not. So we will not be in attendance, unfortunately, on Tuesday night. We need to beat Spain.
It's going to be a big game.
We majorly need to beat Spain. And obviously Spain are going to be coming back for revenge, as everyone likes to call it, because obviously we beat them in the Euros. It does worry me slightly because I don't want to end up in a playoff situation. But I reckon we've got it, you know.
Just turn the lights off again, we'll be fine.
We've obviously got big names like Beth Mead, Ella Toone, Neve Charles, even Missy Bokearns, obviously, she's pregnant, but the others are injured. So we're missing big named players, but then they're also missing big name players as well. You've kind of got your Bon Matties, your Alexandries. They have got a significant amount of injuries as well. So I think we could do it. I reckon we could comfortably beat them 2-1.
We're going to have to utilise the set pieces again, 100%. But no, I really don't know. I'm looking forward to that game in terms of watching it. But
We will be live.
Most likely.
Probably.
But anything can happen in that one. Anything can happen. Right. What is happening at the moment?
Well, I was just going to say, should we go from one of my favourite defenders, being an amazing goal scorer, to another in the Asian Cup? So obviously the Asian Cup is taking place over in Australia as we speak. All the groups are done. I've watched every Tilly's game. I have cried during every Tilly's game.
I've tried to watch as much as possible.
Luckily, the Tilly's game fell on my PPA last week, so I was able to do it while planning my lessons. Just to clarify, if anybody from work sees this, I did plan my lessons at the same time. But yeah, we've done a couple lives for it, and I've been really impressed by the Tillies, I'll be honest. It's been minimal, the other games that we've watched, but I've been really impressed by them, and I know the result they got the other night with the draw wasn't enough for them to kind of top their group, and they have had to travel back to Perth, but I still think they're in good stead. I really do. So, should we talk about the first game?
Yeah, let's do it. They were playing Philippines,
yes,
I believe. So Cara wasn't in the squad for this one. Your mate Lani was benched.
Which was ridiculous. We'll tell you why, but it's ridiculous.
We'll
Joe,
get onto that.
Please never bench her again. Never.
And you were telling me that Lincoln, the goalkeeper, is their fourth choice
choice.
goalkeeper.
So obviously, just before the tournament, Tegan Michael pulled out because she had concussion. You then had Mackenzie Arnold, who wasn't fully match fit. You then, on top of that, had Jada Wyman, who had to withdraw due to a knee injury. So it actually meant that Lincoln, who was their fourth choice keeper, started the first two games, which is wild. When you think you've taken 4 keepers to a tournament, 2 end up injured and have to withdraw, and the other one ends up injured and stays on camp.
And she played 2 out of 3 games, didn't she? But
Be
obviously,
nice.
we'll get onto that more. In terms of that first game, it was a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit shaky from the Tillies. I feel like they've got so many wingers and not a lot of anything else really going on.
Wow.
Obviously, they've got Sam Kerr, who's an out-and-out striker, but they just don't seem to have anyone else. Obviously, Mary Fowler can play up front there, but also she's mainly a winger. And it kind of showed with they just go out wide, similar to the England game, in that they go out wide and they cross the ball in, but they don't really have many options to get in there and win the ball. And when you look at the bench and you see someone like Lani, who can score lots of headers, not having her in there just doesn't really make any sense. So they're crossing the ball into Samco is pretty much on her own, and that's really the only chances they have and the only real options they seem to go with in this whole game against the Philippines.
Sam Kerr obviously scored in the first half. She scored in the 14th minute. And it was a pretty good goal, to be fair.
Great goal.
But it then ended 1-0. And I mean, the Philippines made some subs really early on, like 46th minute and then 2 in the 59th. And then obviously Alana Kennedy came on for Claire Wheeler. Mary Fowler came on in replacement of Emily Van Egmond. And then you also had Amy Sayer, who came in for Hayley Rasso. But it didn't really make much of a difference to the game, I don't think. I think the Chilis kind of just cruised along and maybe done with a couple more goals. But I'm not going to write the Philippines off because they were good. And I mean, there was another goal, but it got disallowed. Hayley Rasso did score and it was disallowed. So
I thought the Philippines, their only really option was to play that counter-attacking football. But as soon as they get it forward, they just didn't have the quality to keep hold of the ball. So they did really struggle. But the Sam Kerr goal was really good. It was a really good cross, which goes all the way to the back post. Caitlin Ford then headers it back across. And then Sam Kerr finishes it off, heads it down the middle of the goal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The next game then is South Korea. I'm just highlighting the ones that we've kind of watched.
I was gonna say I've not watched them.
Yeah, so South Korea, they looked really good in that game, and this is why I had the opinion that they would do all right against Australia. So yeah, South Korea, they just seem to have the ability to have so many chances from so many different places, and I feel like when you've got that going into a tournament, especially against the Tillies, who are up there with Japan as like the favourites, and obviously with North Korea, like just having so many different options is really, really good. Seem to go down the right side a lot of the time to create their chances, which then obviously goes into the Tillies game and how they're able to play behind the back. But we'll get into that because we actually watched that game and I called it to a T.
Yeah, we did.
But let's talk about the greatest international team, and I know I am English. Yeah, we're skipping straight past South Korea. No, we ain't the Tillies. Yeah, this is South Korea's first game.
We'll get on to the Tillies game. Thank you, because South Korea nearly beat them.
So Japan's first game, the greatest international team in the world. Thank you. I told you about this. If you're an OG podcast listener, I told you about this ages ago. Japan are unreal.
I mean, behind my chair, you can see it on the wall. Louisa at City kindly made you a poster.
I am Japan's biggest fan. Yeah, they call me Charlie Gower.
For anyone who doesn't know, he is obsessed with Yui Hasegawa.
I'm just obsessed with Japan. They're so good. Right, let's get into it. They played. Who did they play in the game now? My brain's gone. Chinese Taipei. They played them. They done really well to break them down. They pretty much just sat in the box, so it was really difficult for Japan to go out and really put a load of goals past them. But they just played some really nice, intricate football. Little 1-2, little 1-touch, 1-2s, 2-touch, 3-touch passes around the box. They just score worldies for fun. Japan do. They're so good.
They really do.
Yama started this one. Obviously, didn't really have to do much. Gets a clean sheet. By the way, Japan in the group stage, 17 goals, 0 conceded. Changed keepers twice.
I'm just saying, and those people that try and write off Yamashita, no.
Tell me, keeping clean sheets in a tournament is not for everybody. Anyway, we were at the Lionesses game while the second Japan game was going on, and while the warm-ups were going on, I was not filming them. I was watching the Japan game.
Charlie forgot where he was. Obviously, I was in my little Lionesses bubble, and me and Han got all of the content of the warm-ups because Charlie wanted to watch Japan, and there is actually footage of him in the matchday vlog from the game watching the Japan game.
I mean, it was hard not to when they put 11 goals past India and just
11 goals is wild.
It was destroyed them.
It was like 6-0 at half time, wasn't it? And you looked at me and you were like, "You're not going to believe the score." And I was like, "Why?"
Mate.
And he was like, Kirsty, it's 6-0.
It was so
What?
easy.
And
Some
then
of
every
the
time a
goals.
goal went in, he's like, "Oh my god, there's another one, and another one, and another one, and another one." And we were like, "Well, how many is there?" And
Well,
11 is just
to
wild.
make it really funny,
Go on.
obviously Seiki and Yui are just playing unbelievable, and so is Tanaka. But then not Tanaka. What's the striker called? I can't remember off the top of my head now. They just look unbelievable, and it's 6-0. It was Tanaka.
What's Tanaka?
They're 6-0 up at half, and then they're like, do you know what we'll do? We'll bring out this, really young player nobody really knows of, Yuki. We'll bring Yuki on in the second half. Bang, slaps in a hat trick.
Just wild.
But
Just
for me,
wild.
obviously,
She
like,
plays for West Ham as well.
yeah,
You rate her when
I'm a-
she's at West Ham, so
no, do you not remember? I'd not slated her, but I was not with her in the Man City game because she just gave up and didn't want to do any defending.
but she is
This
good.
highlighted to me that her attacking ability is an absolute joke, and she really struggles sometimes in the WSL because of that defensive side of it. Whereas, like, when she just has to attack, unbelievable, and it was class. I did say that Japan would go loads of goals past India.
Not that many though.
Can't say it was going to be 11, but I thought it would be 6. I'll
Yeah,
take
I
that.
thought it were going to be quite.
I'll take that. And then the next Tilly's game is Iran, and you watched this.
I did.
Iran,
This was the
Iran.
one I watched on my PPA time.
I did not. So go ahead.
And Amy Sayer scored pretty quickly. The Tillies looked good in the game. They did look really good. Obviously, Iran were a little bit shaky, but they also put up some good defending. Mary Fowler was the first person to cry. Shock. Kirsty cried. Newsflash. Mary scored in the 26th minute, and it was her 17th goal for the Tillies, but it was also only her second start since coming back for her ACL. So I was very like, oh, okay. And then Alana Kennedy needs to take a bow because she is currently second joint. Wait, no, she's
After the group stage.
yeah, after the stage, she's joint top
4 goals.
with 4 goals, which is wild. Like, going into this tournament, I was so excited to see her play, but did not expect her to be top goal scorer.
How many did she get in the Iran game?
In the Iran game, she
2.
2. So Lani was defending really, really well, and she then scored. It wasn't even a header. It was not even bottom lefter with a Sam Kerr assist. It was just.
Oh, is this the one where Sam Kerr lays it off and she just places it in the bottom corner?
Yeah.
Great goal.
And then in the second half, she then got another header. So as you can imagine, I am sat in a quiet room with other teachers who are planning with this game on, and I just burst into tears. It was actually wild, like mental. And then, unfortunately, Hayley Rasso got hit by a ball in the face.
Yeah, I've not seen this, but I remember you
So
saying.
she initially got hit by a ball in the face, and ended up being subbed off because it's not funny, she then got hit in the back of the head with another ball. So she ended up being subbed off for concussion. I believe it was the back of her head anyway. So she ended up being subbed off, but it was mental. There were 11 added minutes because the keeper spent loads of time down. The keeper initially for Iran got injured drawing one of the goals, and then she ended up down again with her shoulder and then her head.
Are we saying Iran or Iran? Because I always say Iran, but then a lot of the Americans say Iran. So I reckon we go Iran. Anyway, that's not the second concussion for Tilly's, though, is it?
No.
Obviously, Steph Catley gets one later on.
In the game against South Korea, so if we move on to the next game before I get emotional over Alana.
Oh, by the way, I was so happy in this game. I absolutely called this game to a T.
I'm just saying, I'm getting emotional again talking about Alana's goals. So Alana, if you see this, fun. That and Kennedy Wardrobe message. Oh, we'll get onto that. Let's just focus. ADHD Central. So Steph Catley got concussion in the South Korea game. I'll give it to her. She did initially get up and carry on, and then about 4 or 5 minutes later, she went down, and you could see her kind of like pointing at what she could see and stuff. So they subbed her off. I feel really bad for the Tillies. They've had injuries in the space of 3 games.
Yeah, and so have Arsenal, which doesn't really help.
But you know, it was a top point from this game. And a positive. Lani scored again.
She did.
She scored again.
So South Korea scored first.
Yep.
Then Lani makes it 1-1.
Yep.
I was, by the way, at the Lionesses game going, that game tomorrow, Tillies in South Korea, that's got a draw written all over it.
And I was adamant that wasn't going to happen.
No, they'll beat them. It's the Tillies. I said, exactly. I said, it's going to be a draw. Then, obviously, it's early on a Sunday morning. Kirsty's on live. I'm still asleep. Half time comes. I get up. I come down.
It was 2-1.
Yeah, South Korea scored in the second half pretty early on, right?
Well, no, because...
Is it not?
Don't write the Tillies off too quickly, my love. Because Alana scored in the 32nd minute, and then Sam Kerr actually scored in extra time, like added time.
Oh, yeah, it was 2-1, wasn't it?
So, lovely little assist from Caitlin Ford straight into Sam Kerr. It was great. But then by the time Charlie came down to join me for the second half of the line, it was 2-2
Blatant penalty.
from a penalty.
Blatant. Kirsty was trying her hardest to be biased.
No, I wasn't, because I did feel really bad for Courtney Nevin. Obviously, she'd come on to replace Steph Catley in the 20th minute.
She goes like that?
It
She
was a
goes like that?
handball. I can't even defend it. It was a handball, which was really upsetting. And then it upset me further because 3 minutes later,
Oh, what a goal.
South Korea scored again.
And like I said, they went down that right side and just straight across Mackenzie Arnold, whose first start in this tournament lets in 3 goals. And Lincoln kept a clean sheet. Look, I'm not being horrible. I'm just stating facts.
No, because you know my love for the Tillies, and
Me too.
You know what's happened when you've talked badly about players in the past.
No, I'm not talking
But
badly.
I'm just putting it out there, right? Mackenzie Arnold, you are amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
I love you dearly. And
Me too.
yes, it doesn't just come down to the keeper. I tell you this
Right.
every time. It
Fair
does not
enough.
just come down to the keeper. It should not be able to get through that back line.
Well,
Your keeper is your last resort. A penalty.
A penalty in a
different.
1v1 does come down to the keeper.
Whatever.
Fair enough.
Whatever.
Let's agree to disagree. But
Yeah,
either way,
whatever.
3 goals gone in, first start, not looking good. Probably should play Lincoln in the next game, right?
Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
No, she's number one.
Let me know
You're
what you
not
think in the
gonna
comments. I think Lincoln should start. But
And Mackenzie Arnold, if you see this for any reason, because I know obviously your friendship circle, I believe in you. I believe in the Tillies, and I think they could win it still. But do you know who else I believe in? Alana Kennedy.
Shocker.
Because, oh mate, do you know how much I've cried over football this week? Alana Kennedy made it 3-3 in the 98th minute. Do you know how wild that is?
Yeah, I do. Kirsty was screaming the house down.
Yeah, if anybody who was in the TikTok live or hasn't seen it, I really need to go back and clip it, because when that first goal went in, there were words that came out of my mouth that didn't even make sense. They weren't even words. And I'm just saying, I was wearing my Kennedy wardrobe shirt that day. And what made this game even better, right, than the fact that Lani was top goal scorer by the end of the game and she scored another 2 goals, was the fact that I had posted a video wearing my Kennedy wardrobe t-shirt, and Kennedy wardrobe reposted it, liked it, and replied to our message about it after. And Paramount Plus Australia commented on that video.
I can't take credit for it. That was all you, mate.
Like, I'm telling you, it's because I was wearing my Kennedy wardrobe. That's what it is. Obviously, I'm wearing FootballHer now, but Kennedy wardrobe was what I was wearing at the time. And yeah, if Lani can pull this off, I'll be buzzing.
They got tough. Obviously,
They
the other
have, they
games,
really
the other
have.
games that happen afterwards, the final kind of group games to China, which I really did not see happening. I did not think China would get that through. So it's 1-1, right? It's 1-1. And China have a free kick, and as the Chinese to take the free kick, all of the North Korean line move forward to try and get them all offside. They don't judge the time right, so as they all go forward, it leaves one player at the back is just keeping the Chinese player onside as the ball's kicked. So all these North Korean players go flying out the box. The Chinese players just taps it in to make it 2-1. North Korea lose at that. It was shocking. Then this one as well, I did not see happening. Bangladesh losing to Uzbekistan 4-0. I thought that had draw written all over it, to be honest. Japan then today, on the day of recording this, beat Vietnam 4-0.
That's
I still haven't
insane.
seen the highlights.
I'll be honest, I've not had a chance to watch any of the other games.
You should watch the highlights for Japan. They've been unreal. But
no, I've seen clips of goals, to be fair.
Yeah.
I have.
So Jess, friend of the show, big up. She wanted to shout out the Vietnamese keeper because within, I think it might have been the first half, it was only 1-0 when Jess messaged me, but the Vietnamese keeper apparently was unbelievable for most of it. Unfortunately then lets in a goal. Yuki gets another goal, which then puts her joint top with Lani and I believe the North Korean striker as well. And yeah, like I said, 17 goals for Japan, 0 conceded.
And that's with swapping keepers as well.
Yeah, but keeping clean sheets not for everyone. So are they quarterfinals?
Yes.
Yeah, quarterfinals now are South Korea versus Uzbekistan. South Korea are going to go flying for that one.
Yeah, I think they'll win.
Japan versus Philippines.
That is a joke.
That
right?
is
if
gonna
the Tillies can
10-0.
Yeah, that's going to be a high-rating game.
It's going to be 3-0 because the Philippines will sit behind the ball.
Okay.
3-0. China versus the Chinese to pay.
Okay.
China win that.
China.
Australia,
and I don't
North
care what you
Korea.
say, Australia are going to win this.
It's going to be a tough game for
Australia
Tillies.
are going to win it, and I can't even watch it because I'm at work and it's when I'm
Do
actually
you want to
on
know?
stage.
Do you want to know a hot take?
Um,
Australia win that on pens.
I think Australia win that.
On pens.
I hope it goes to pens because then I can watch it because
It's going to be 1-0 North Korea, and then Australia are going to equalise in the last minute.
Who's going to score?
Lani's going to score a header.
You think Alana's going to score?
It's going to go to extra time. Lani's going to miss a pen. North Korea are going to miss a pen, and then Sam Kerr's going to score the winning pen.
Lani's not going to miss a
Flip
pen.
that.
Alana will not miss a pen.
Right. That was good news. Now to some sad news.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
absolutely gutted.
I've done awful at this year though, so for me
It
it's
don't
really
matter.
not.
I'm absolutely gutted. Fantasy WSL, the app that I've been talking about all season and have
And
been
gloating
absolutely
about.
gloating because I've been top of leagues, been in the top 100 out of everybody. It's shutting down after the season ends.
That's really sad actually.
They've really struggled to get funding for it because it's not an official app. Because it's down as unofficial, people don't want to get behind it. But apparently the WSL, the actual WSL and the people in charge are in talks about creating their app now, like a proper official one for the league. I just really hope they use these people to make it a proper app. Yeah, that's sad news for the week
That is actually really sad.
because I really love that app and it's so well done. And if you follow the people on X for like the updates and stuff, they're on it like that. Like they're really good with it. They show you what players you should be scouting, who gets the most points. They do live updates. If you put notifications on, like literally when someone gets booked within a minute or two, they're on it.
See, I can't lie. I've been awful this year because my main priority has literally been just having my favourite players in the team.
Yeah, well, you can't be doing that.
It's not done me very well. But do you know what is a positive?
What is
We'll
positive?
end the pod on two positives.
Go on.
One is that London City against Arsenal was sold out.
Yeah, was it
At London
5,000
City.
odd
5,000
tickets?
tickets are being
Ooh,
sold. I
that
wouldn't
is
mind
very
being
good.
there.
Oh, I'd
Although
love to be there.
this is no disrespect
Someone sponsor
to
us.
London City Lionesses. Yeah, someone please sponsor the pod. We'd
Please,
appreciate
that
it.
would be unreal. All expenses paid.
We'll film the pod while we're there. No disrespect to London City, you know how much I love London City. If it wasn't a conflict of interest, I would be buying a shirt straight away from Fowley's with a liner on the back. But because I have two teams in the WSL, that'd be wrong. Oh, I just doubted myself there. Anyway, so it will be the Arsenal fans that have most likely bought it out. Because that's what they do. They get their allocation. They don't get enough tickets. They then buy the home
It's
team's
just got
allocation.
too many fans.
Yeah, well, it's
This is what happened when you win titles.
yeah, but we're gonna win the WSL, and you are literally sat in a podcast room. There's not a single Arsenal thing by your Highbury side. That's it.
It's a proper stadium, mate.
Whatever.
That's no about.
Well, my final thing for this week before we end up falling out.
Go on.
So I saw a post yesterday that somebody had posted saying under Let's Girls Play. It's someone called Jamie Spencer. Under Let's Girls Play.
Is that
Let's
Barclays?
Girls Play.
That's the Barclays thing.
My
isn't it?
daughter and all the girls in her preschool class are having funded football sessions today.
Class.
That direct and equal access to football in school as a consequence of England players winning and playing at an elite level worked and pushed it, and it's for their greatest legacy.
Why do you sound like you're gonna cry?
It makes me emotional.
Yeah, it's class. That is class.
It also makes me emotional though because one thing I've always battled as a teacher is having like when the girls want to play football and the boys are like, you can't play,
Yeah,
it's
same.
for boys.
Same.
And the fact now that I saw that, and then today, one of the kids in my class noticed that I had a drawing of the Lionesses on the wall that I'd had done, and they'd also noticed my little Man City women's supporters club thing on my desk. And he went, Miss, women can play football, can't they?
Yes, they
And I was
can.
like, yes, they can. I said, so when I want to play football tomorrow, can I? And he went, no, you're not cool enough. But the fact that the kids are now recognising that it is okay for women to play football, and like they're all, because the class I teach now are old enough to understand it, they are obsessed with my tattoos. They're always like,
That's
Miss,
class.
what does this date mean? What does it say? And it's like, it's from when the women won the Euros. And one of the boys today as well was like, Miss, the women won the Euros before the men. And I was like, yes, they did.
I'd love to do some work with Barclays on the Let Girls Play because obviously you do that side of it, and then I did the side of like at my old school there was no girls football at all, and I built it up from scratch. And literally the first 4 or 5 weeks, I had 2 players that would come training, and then we ended up with a team in every year group in a secondary school and getting to the quarterfinals of cups, playing academy players, and I had a group of girls that had never played football before, and we were beating academy teams. And
you also had 2 that made it into academy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
and then
wild.
I've got one at the minute that I just found out this week that has moved to Spain and is about to start playing professionally in Spain, which
That's
is
wild.
class, which I'm absolutely buzzing about. So yeah, good news to end the podcast this week.
Well, talking about Barclays, if you see this, if anybody would like to sponsor the podcast, please let us know. We are now looking for sponsors as we are scaling up, and we have got an amazing editor now. So if you would be interested in working with us, give us a shout. Keep an eye out for the podcast, which we will be filming when we return from Turf Moor on Sunday, as we are going to do some work for the women at Burnley versus Wolves. So it'll be a different type of content from us, and we may not be able to talk about the WSL as much, but we will make sure that we've done our research beforehand. And it is also the Cup final this weekend. Who wins? United or Chelsea?
United.
I think United. Genuinely do. I hate to say it. It pains me to say that, but I would much rather them win than Chelsea.
I'd rather them win. I want Mark Skinner still in the job. I think he's mint.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll leave it on that note.
Cool.
And we'll talk about it on Sunday next week.
And go to FootballHer.
Check out FootballHer. Subscribe, like, comment. Check out our other socials. We will put them in the description. But yeah, we'll see you next week.